Hello and welcome back to the Limited Queue. Today I'm doing another deck tech for the new and upcoming BFZ standard, which is not even legal yet, but which we're going to start playing with this weekend. I think that this is the most, if you haven't watched my other videos, I think that this is the most exciting time for Constructed when the new cards are out, but the pros have not streamed a major tournament yet, so nobody has an idea. Nobody can just net deck a deck anymore, or at least for the first week. That the new standard is legal, and you get more of people's ideas in the door and less of people just copying crap off the internet, which is kind of what we're going to do today. There's been a lot of talk on Reddit about the fact that a red-green landfall deck can kill on turn 3. So we're going to take a look at that today. Here's the general concept. Not all credit to somebody else, not me. I just don't know who that person is. Turn 1 Scythe Leopard, turn 2 Sliderunner, which is your best option, or either Snapping Gnarlid or another 2 Scythe Leopards, followed by a ridiculous number of fetch lands. Into either Atarka's Command or Swell of Growth, which allows you to drop another fetch land. So you get a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 landfall triggers on turn 3. Yeah, or you could stack it up to 5. You can do 5 landfall triggers on turn 3, I believe. So there's the land you play, crack it. Oh, sorry. Yeah. All right. So 4. You get 4 landfall triggers on turn 3. And the Sliderunner is the best option for this because it has trample. So once you hit 4 landfall triggers with either Atarka's Command or Swell of Growth, you Temur Battle Rage your biggest thing, and you hit with what would be something like a 9/8 Makindi Sliderunner. Is that right? No. 4 landfall triggers makes the Sliderunner a 6/5, which with Temur Battle Rage hits with double strike and trample, which it already has, plus an additional few damage from turn 2 with these other landfall creatures that you played. So Makindi Sliderunner is definitely the MVP, mostly because it can't your Temur Battle Rage can't be chump blocked. And all in all, depending on what spells you play out, you deal between 20 and 24 damage by turn 3, which is pretty impressive. It's a little bit scary, and it's something that I'm going to be playing around. It's going to affect how I build my deck, especially because this is an aggro deck that's getting a lot of hype. There are a few different versions of it popping up on Tapped Out. Most of them are running Abbot into Sliderunner, Monastery Swiftspear. Undergrowth Champion is kind of the dummy of. It's kind of. I don't really know that this fits into the deck as well as people think it does, because it seems a little bit slower than the rest. There are some other. This one is running Become Immense because you're going to be fetching a lot. The idea is you're going to be running a lot of fetch lands with a few basics, basically. This one runs Goblin Heelcutter. There's one with that was running Collective Command. This one's very simple, just a bunch of mountains and forests and stuff. I'm not. This one I thought was interesting because it runs Valakut Predator, which I think is good for the deck because it gives the deck more of a longer game possibility. I feel like definitely the Gruul Blitz. I feel like this deck can very easily burn out if you don't get a turn 6 kill. It's basically game over. No. And with the landfall, with this one, I feel like it wasn't aggro enough. Oh, this one's not even running oh, there it is. There's the Sliderunner. I feel like this one. Oh, this one. There was one that wasn't even running the Snapping Gnarlid. Yeah, it was this one. So there are various versions of this deck that people are coming up with. They all look a little bit dangerous. How is this going to affect what I play? I am going to be bringing in. This is called a maybe board. That's cool. one of the cards I'm going to be bringing in is Boiling Earth. The red one red, one colorless deals 1 damage to all creatures your opponents control, mostly to kill the Slide Runner. It is a sorcery, but if you play it out on turn 2, if they have the perfect draw, Scythe Leopard into Slide Runner, they'll be tapped out. They won't be able to play Landfall as an instant. And you can get an easy 2-for-1 in the early game, which will definitely slow them down and give you time to get into the mid to late game if you're running a slower deck. Another aspect of the game that I think is going to change dramatically with the new format, and especially applies here, is instant speed removal. Cards like instant speed cheap removal. Cards like Ultimate Price are definitely going to increase in playability here. They're already very playable, but Ultimate Price is a 2-mana kill spell, and that can't be negated by a landfall trigger. So it's not a shock. It's not a wild slash. There are very few spells there are very few cheap blanket removal spells in the format right now, and Ultimate Price I think is definitely going to be the go-to. For me personally, I'm going to be adding Boiling Earth to my sideboard. And I'm thinking if I was running mono red or Atarka red, I would consider splashing black just for Ultimate Price. I think that this deck is going to be that prevalent in this weekend's upcoming first week BFZ standard events. So, yeah, you can definitely just Google it yourself, check it out. That's basically how the deck is work. It looks very dangerous, but at the same time, if you're able to survive until turn 6 or 7, you're probably going to win the game. And so a lot of my sideboard options are going to be revolving around making sure that that happens. All right. Thank you very much for checking this out. This has been the Red-Green Gruul Blitz Landfall Aggro deck tech. If you have any comments or suggestions, let me know in the comments down below.